I saw all those handsome boys wandering in the black and white suits, I thought it was like watching a rerun of March of the Penguins. But no, seriously, it really is great to see you. And as you know, we are here to celebrate 50 years that RVB has been on this planet. And many of you will know that actually I have known him for 10 years out of those 50 years. Now, I want to start by just telling you a little bit of a story about a game that RVB and I play. Are you big clean? Not that sort of game. Easy at the back. It actually involves celebrities, okay? And it involves outdoing each other about the number of celebrities that we've seen. And it all started about 4 or 5 years ago when I saw this man down one of the back passages of Waterloo. Tony Blair. Oh, yeah, boo now. He was actually quite popular in those days. Heavily covered in powder. He'd obviously come out of some TV studio. So I simply texted Richard, I raised you Tony Blair. Right, and this ridiculous game began because before long, he texted me back, the next few weeks or so, I raised you Tony Blair and I see you, Alvin Stein. Which is quite an accolade, isn't it? And so this game goes on, and actually it's rather fun to see who's going to be next. So I raise you Alvin Stardust, and I see you Ben Fogle. And actually, without plugging things, I was with Ben Fogle today at a function in Nottingham. I was. I'll tell you some interesting stories about Mr. Fogle a little bit later on. But I think the best one to date has been this next one, right? Because not only was he seen in a McDonald's off the M1 in a service station, but it was the Archbishop of Canterbury. So that's a really good one, isn't it? So how do you top that one? Well, I can tell you, because last weekend we were very lucky. Richard's parents had decided as a Christmas present to send us to this amazing spa called Syon Park. Anyone ever been there? Heard of it now, yes, but I know some people have been, and it really was fantastic. Anyway, so we're there, small children taken away by RVB's 80-year-old parents, bless them, absolutely on their last legs by the time we came back, desperate to hand them back. But anyway, we had a great time, and there's an indoor pool there at Syon Park, and there was a man in the pool with 2 small children, and I knew straight away when I heard his tones that it was in fact, and I raise you, Michael McIntyre, Britain's best loved and probably best paid comedian. So I raise you Michael McIntyre, but actually the funniest thing was the reaction. So RVB's there, right, top off, shorts on, not speedos, I'm thankful to say. And Michael McIntyre takes one look at him, puts down his small child, and goes, as only Michael McIntyre can, "Oh my God, He-Man has arrived." He has been in training for 10 years and now has come here to humiliate me. Look at the muscles on He-Man. And it was one of those surreal moments, so I just want you to raise a glass, please, to He-Man. He-Man, let's hear it.
Paragrayskull.
Anyway, so let me continue. So that was really a very surreal moment. So He-Man is amongst us. And as you know, we've known each other for 10 years. So 10 years ago, He-Man and I look like this. On a little glamorous outing, popping in and out of a I'm sorry. Can you hear me if I don't use this?
Yes.
Okay, so yes, so falling in and out of cars, our life was very, very different then as it was now. So here we are on Percy Road off to some do or other. And so now Richard looks like that. Still, and I look like that, which is not so good. And that is largely because of this. Because of this. Because of this. So that's an amazing achievement, isn't it, over the last 7 years? But also, as if life was not chaotic enough, he decided to introduce chaotic, but I wouldn't have it any other way. And it's been an amazing experience, it really has. But I thought tonight I just might want to share with you a few things you might or might not know about RVB. So I thought I'd limit it to 5. It was quite difficult, but if anybody wants to know more, I'm available later. So, some of you may have known RVB for many years. So many of you might have known him for a while, or over several years. So some of you may well know these things, but the first thing I wanted to kick off with is, has anybody ever seen RVB ill?
No. Yes. All the bloody time.
Yes. All the time? He may be moaning about his aching muscles. But actually, while mere mortals get colds and flus, actually I've never seen him in the 10 years I've known him laid low. There were a couple of times though, when one I tried to poison him with a piece of off chicken. That laid him low for about a couple of hours one evening. And the second time was when we went on a holiday to Morocco, and he rather unwisely ignored the hotel manager's advice not to eat anything at one of the street markets. But oh no. He thought he was resilient. There was a lamb tagine that had been festering in the sunshine for some days. To go to that, we were there on a weekend break for 3 days and he didn't leave the toilet. So that was the one instance. But apart from that, I've never seen him ill. Now, for those of you who know him, you will know that actually the obsessive-compulsive RVB is really something to behold. And I won't go into all of the examples. It can range from having a particular knife to eat his dinner with, and I would like to ask him in a moment to stand up, because I'm pretty sure that I know what is buried deep into his pockets. Luke saying at the back, I keep saying. On his right pocket we will find his wallet, and on his left pocket we will find a lip balm, a dental floss and a hanky. Am I Okay, so point number three. Who here has been skiing with RVB?
Oh,
yes. Quite a few. Okay, good. John Free, you survived to lift the tail. Well done. I've got to say that when I met Richard, he was really passionate about skiing. He's even more so now. And if he didn't have me and a small family, I'm sure he'd quite like to live his days 6 months of the year in the Alps and 6 months at home. And Paul Chadwick has become a regular skiing buddy of his. And Paul, can you confirm that in fact RVB does ski like a god?
God, yes, absolutely. Yeah, and he's teaching me to be a god too.
That's a long time.
I'm nearly there.
So skiing, so I'm not sure whether it was. I'm sure he pretty much did know about his passion. The other one is, you can see the glass of champagne up here. And Trevor, may I say, thank you for supplying such a fine glass this evening. But actually, the reason I put it up here is because RVB is the only man I know that can literally go for months without drinking, even thinking about having a drink. That's extraordinary, isn't it? Because I sit there, he's got his pint of milk with strawberry flavouring in it. I've got my red wine every night. But it can be months and months, apart from, of course, if there is the inevitable 7 o'clock club drinks do. Because he doesn't get the idea of having one glass, you know? You have to absolutely fall over, don't you? And the last thing, just before I wrap up, that I wanted to run by you was the piano. Yeah. We couldn't get one in here tonight. But how many here have heard RVB play? Yeah. Yes. Never. Yes. You have to look over it. But the idea that actually, yesterday I was at Grace's school, and she reduced an audience to tears. Grace is 6. She stood up in front of the whole school with her little pigtails and sang Edelweiss to a school. And Tom, age 4, can reduce an audience to tears with his rendition of Michael Bolton's How Am I Supposed to Live Without You? It's a testament to his talent on the piano. So, that brings an end to the 5 things you may or may not have known RBB, but I just want to propose another toast in a moment to this man who I have known for 10 years, who is a fantastic husband, a devoted father, a very generous and kind friend, and is clearly getting better looking by the day. So I think we would all agree that at 50, he's looking good. Looking good.
Very good speech.
Very good.
Is that where it tells you he goes?
Champagne and wine.
I forgot to stop it.